Mics. We don't need to use mics until
Mm-hmm.
綺麗だね。
Abarigani. Abarigani. For those of you that this may be your first Kwanzaa celebration, what you just heard was the greeting. Imani, that means faith. We've had 6 celebrations. This day is the culmination of the Kwanzaa season. And we say these. We've had 7 principles, and these are 7 principles of blackness. These are principles that we should try to live by each and every day as African people, because we are a different breed of people here in America. We are the only people in America that did not ask to be here. Everyone else came on their own fruition, but we did not ask to be here. So we celebrate our triumphs, the things that we've been through down through the years to get to where we are today. And this was not an easy journey. We had ancestors that died and gave their lives for us to be here. So this is one of the main reasons that we celebrate Kwanzaa. First fruit, meaning if we do it on the last day and the first day, that we will do better going into the next year. Each and every year, we want to do more than we did the year before. So again, we want to thank you for coming out. And now I'm going to bring up the founder and minister of this beautiful place. And we're going to hear a few words from Pastor Earl Fisher here in the Blackest Church in Memphis.
Permission from the elders to speak. Thank you. Permission from the youngest amongst us to speak. Thank you. Abaragani. Abaragani. Peace and love, brothers, sisters, friends, and kin. Alafia. Wassalam alaikum. What up, though? Welcome to the Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church, a church affectionately referred to as the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County, and I hope and pray you felt the black love when you walked through the door. How many people, this is your first time in this sacred space? Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you so much for being here with us. People ask, well, why is Abyssinian called the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County? My most honest answer is because it's true. More elaborately, it's because ain't nobody, say nobody, ain't nobody gonna show up for black folks, stand up for black folks, or speak up for black folks more than Abyssinian. Ashe, ashe. So I would love for other churches around the city to contest us for the title. That just hasn't happened up to this point. Maybe they'll catch on in 2024 or 2025. As you walked in, you may have seen some materials on the table outside. There are several ways for people to connect with us as the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County. Our email address, abcministries1@gmail.com. On Facebook, because we are streaming right now live through Facebook at Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church, on YouTube at Abyssinian Baptist Church Memphis, and on Instagram at abcministries1. If you ever want to be part of our text service, you could definitely be part of that. There's a number that we'll be posting throughout this program, and all you have to do is text the word liberation. Say liberation. All you got to do is text that word to that number, and you will be connected with us so that all of our virtual worship services and all of our hybrid worship services you can participate in. We are here in this sacred space physically on the first and third Sunday of every month. Now, can I say this honestly? We hosted this last year. There's no better place to host the Day of Imani than the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County. And there was a lot of conversation last year about how we could do Kwanzaa 365 and how we could connect some of these principles and some of these efforts and initiatives to programs and other efforts to implement these principles throughout the year. Let me remind you, Abyssinian practices Kwanzaa 365. So you are always welcome to connect with us. Look at the person next to you, say you can connect with them. Look at the other person, say he for real. While you're here, if you happen to need to use the restroom, straight through those double doors over on this side, my left, your right. First door on the left is the one traditionally for the men. The second door on the left is the one traditionally for the women. It is always a gift and a joy to share this sacred space with all of you, and we hope that this is not the last time that you would be at the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County. There are two things that are present here. I brought this up last week, and I'll bring it up this week, and then I'll yield the floor back to the Mid-South Kwanzaa. As a matter of fact, can we give it up for Mid-South Kwanzaa Incorporated for the way that they host this and produce this with such excellence? Whenever you are in Abyssinian, as it stands right now, we have two things that we believe no other church in the city of Memphis has in its sanctuary, and most other churches don't have anywhere in their facility. To my left, to your right, is what we call our ancestral altar. Somebody say Ashe. Say Ashe. Say Ashe-o. This is the place where we honor the elders and the ancestors, some of which have been directly impactful and influential in this sacred space that you are sitting right now. So some of our founding members have images that are here on this ancestral altar. We also have images of those who have been very important and impactful in the life of black faith. People like Malcolm X, people like Ida B. Wells, people like Reverend Albert Clegg Jr. We have some of our members, elders and ancestors. My father-in-law's picture is over there. My maternal grandmother and grandfather's picture is over there. Sister Colleen has some of her family members over there. I don't think you'll find another ancestral altar in the sanctuary of any other church in Memphis or Shelby County. And if you find one, take a picture of it and send it to me. Again, as the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County, we are committed to honoring our elders and ancestors. We're also committed to uplifting the minds of black folks. You see books all around this sanctuary, but we have actually in this back corner the Black Minds Matter bookshelf. This is the place where we place books that we want our young people especially to have access to black authors. And so maybe you have some books that you want to donate. We will definitely take them. You can leave them with me. But while you're here, please know you are an Abyssinian for the time being. Whenever you dart these divine doors, you are an Abyssinian, and there's no better place to be than the Blackest Church in Memphis and Shelby County. We have a mission statement and a vision statement, but we also have a motto. I want you to repeat this motto after me for those watching online. Here's where you type this in the comment section in all caps. Now say it like you mean it. Say it with your chest. And if you lying, just say it like you mean it until it becomes true. Say, I love God. I love the Black Messiah. I love black folks. And I'm glad to be at the Blackest Church in Memphis and Shelby County. Okay, that was your practice run. Now say it like you mean it for real, since now you know what we gonna say. Say, I love God. I love the Black Messiah. I love black folks. And I'm glad. Say, I'm glad. Look at somebody, say, I'm mighty glad to be at the Blackest Church in Memphis and Shelby County. Y'all are always welcome here. Peace and love.
Bargani. All right, at this time we will have the African pledge. It will be led by board member Ernestine Fraction. Let's give her a hand. Come on, Ashe.
Bargani. 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 Can we all please stand? That's really putting a whole heart into it. This is the African pledge. We are an African people. We will remember the humanity, glory, and sufferings of our ancestors and honor the struggle of our elders. We will strive to bring new values and new life to our people.
We will strive to bring new values and new life to our people.
We will have peace and harmony among us.
We will have peace and harmony among us.
We will be loving, sharing, and creative.
We will be loving, sharing, and creative.
We will work, study, and listen so we may learn so we may teach.
We will work, study, and listen so we may learn so we may teach.
We will cultivate self-reliance.
We will cultivate self-reliance.
We will struggle to resurrect and unify our homeland.
We will struggle to resurrect and unify our homeland.
We will raise many children for our nation.
We will raise many children for our nation.
We will have discipline, patience, devotion, and courage.
We will have discipline, patience, devotion, and courage.
We will live as models to provide new direction for our people.
We will live as models to provide new direction for our people.
We will be free and self-determining.
We will be free and self-determining.
We are African people.
We are African people.
We will win.
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 We will win. Let me first ask, does everyone have a program? If not, please raise your hand so you can get one. All right, it looks good. Following the African pledge, we always do the libations to the ancestors, and it takes a dual type form. First, I will read it and you will respond as indicated, and then Ekpe will do an oral portion, okay? We call upon our ancestors, far and near, Father of our fathers, to render mercy to the liberation and victory of our people. We call upon the spirit of our children to witness what we have done, to learn strength from us, and be not afraid as we are not afraid. It is done. It is done. Ashe.
Baragani. Imani. Baragani. Imani. Baragani. Imani. I like to say, Odunde Oduyo. Tell me somebody to say, Odunde Oduyo. Odunde Oduyo. So since today is the first day of the new year, what do you think you just said? And that's in the Yoruba language, not here. So when you run into somebody today over the next few days, you're going to tell them, Odunde Oduyo. They probably gonna look at you and say, what? But you're gonna tell them that it means. So we pour libation. Of course, we recognize those who have passed on before us. Those ancestors. Can everyone say Ashe? For those who do not know, Ashe means so be it or it is done. It's an African word. It means so be it or it is done. It's a word of power, a word of affirmation to say if it can be done, it will be done. And we as black people, African people, we are the cradle of civilization. Africa is the cradle of civilization. So it has been done before. It's time for us to do it again. Reclaim. Can everybody say Sankofa? Sankofa. I know you learned all these African words, right? It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Sankofa means go back and reclaim that which is ours. So when we do libation, it's about reclaiming our birthright. We all have a birthright. That's the most valuable commodity that we have, actually. Our birthright. That's the most valuable commodity that we have. Our birthright. Our legacy and our history and culture. So before we continue with libation, we have to ask permission to pour libation. So is there anyone here that's 100 years old or older? Anyone in their hundreds? Anyone in their 90s? In their 90s? Anyone in their 80s? We have several 80s. May we continue with libation. Thank you very much. So we do that because, as Pastor Earl said a minute ago, he asked for permission. We always have to respect the elders. That's just common courtesy and a part of our tradition. In the Western Hemisphere, it's a different deal, right? Sometimes we kick the old people to the side because we value this so-called youth. But we all know, we should know that wisdom outweighs knowledge. Wisdom outweighs knowledge. Knowledge is good, but wisdom outweighs knowledge. So we always respect the elders, whether we agree with them or not. We respect them, whatever they say. I know that's how I was black in the day when I was coming up. Yeah, black in the day. That's right, black in the day. So, who's the youngest child in here? There's always duality in the universe. Male and female, day and night, the heavens and the earth, love and hate. Who's the youngest child in here? The baby child. Who's the youngest in here? Who's the youngest one in here? Is there any child that's under 1 year old? Any under one? Under one? 2. Under 2? Anybody under 2? To your left. Huh? To your left. To my left? To the left, to the left. Who is that back there? Oh yeah, that's That's Legacy. Her name is Legacy. She was at Kwanzaa yesterday. Isn't that a beautiful name for Kwanzaa, right? Legacy. Stand up with Legacy. Stand up with her.
Yes, yes.
Stand up with her so we can see her and she can see us. Because she needs to know that she has family and community. And we do this because the children, now all the rest of us are in between the elders and the child. We do this because we always need to know that we came from being a child at one time. And we need our children to be around us so that they can learn their history and culture. Memphis needs it bad, like the old folks say, Memphis needs it like a hog needs slop. Just yesterday, there was a 3-year-old child shot in Memphis yesterday. It's time out for the ignorance. It's time out for the foolishness. So that's why we recognize the children, because we have to pass our history and culture on to them. So as we pour our libation, I have some earth from the motherland. This is earth from Africa. Now that's why we call Africa the motherland, because the oldest remains that they found of anybody on the planet was an African woman. The oldest remains of anyone on the planet. Now, if you know anything about anthropology, you know there's these family called the Leakey family out of England. They call her Lucy. But those of us, how many people know about Dr. Yosef Ben Yaakov? Dr. Ben called her by an African name. He called her Besmet. And also in Amharic, we call her Dinknesh. But it's an African woman that's the oldest of all humankind. Now there's a brother around somewhere because it was not an immaculate conception. They just hadn't found him yet, or they're hiding him somewhere. They don't want him, they be hating on his brother, So, as we pour libation, this earth from the motherland, that's why we call Africa the motherland. Now, we know it as Africa, but in ancient history, we also call it, can you say Al-Kabulon? Can you say Tameri? Can you say Morphindu? These are some of the ancient names of that land that we now call Africa. So, the earth, Mother Earth, we spread earth. Water is the substance of life. So we pour water into the plant. Water symbolizes life. It symbolizes the wisdom that the Creator gave us to go from one place to another, historically and culturally, to where we are today. They say in Africa that as long as you call a person's name, the spirit of that person is still around. And they said there are always 3 people in the village, those of us who we physically see here, those who yet to be born, and those who have passed away. All are here with us. So, I want to start off by calling the name of the oldest ancestor that I know in my own direct lineage. She was from the motherland. She was stolen from Africa around 1825. 13 brothers and sisters she left in Africa. Her name was Mandy, and can we all say Ashe? Ashe. Now let me say something too, because there's this thing. There's always the devil is busy, as my mother used to say. So there's always this thing to divide black people. So there's this thing now I've been hearing people say, we're not from Africa. We from everywhere, to be honest about it. Black folks are from everywhere. We from here and from there. So when people say that, I say, you don't know about my grandma Mandy. She was directly from the motherland. Now I have Cherokee and Choctaw in my blood also. So let us not be fooled and divided by these issues of people saying we're not from Africa. We're from there and here. Ashe? Ashe? We have to get that clear. So we call the names of those ancestors. So we're going to continue to call those names as Sakita pours the water. Continue to call the name of our direct ancestors and our family and those who we know collectively. Let us call those names. Call it out loud.
Willie Major Berry, Ashe.
Ashe.
Roy Lee Berry, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. And let me say this. Excuse me for 1 second. So this is a communal communion. Let me say that. Y'all feel me? So I want y'all to say it loud like you black and proud. So we want to hear some loud Ashes. Because these names that we're calling, they're not weak people. These are powerful names of people that we're calling. So we have to acknowledge those names. As I said, this is a part of our birthright. So when a name is called, we say Ashe. We say it loud, like a black and cry. Let us continue. I call the name of Ida B. Wells, and we all say, let us continue. Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Martin Luther King.
Ashe. 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 John Coltrane. Ashe. 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 Paul Robeson. Ashe. 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 Marvin Garvey. Ashe. 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 Now, as we know, we can do like Erykah Badu and go on and on and on and on. For the sake of time, we want to call the names of those of our ancestors millions and trillions of years ago on the motherland, and we say for all of them, all those who died in the Middle Passage, that we call the Ma'afa, the great suffering that could be say for them. All those who died on these shores for our freedom, we say for them. All those who died by police violence, we say for them. Elton Hayes.
Tyrese Nichols.
Tyrese Nichols. Ashe. Breonna Taylor. All those many names. And also, by the violence that we perpetrate on each other as a people, because we are ignorant of who we are as a people. We say for all of them. We say Ashe. 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 Oh. Just a moment of reflection for those names that we call and those that we did not call. A moment of reflection. Ashe. Oh, for those who do not know, this instrument was made famous by an ancestor from Memphis. Who am I talking about? Y'all know. Maurice White. He started earth, wind, and fire. Ashe.
That was a beautiful moment. Allowed some personal reflections. This is a Kwanzaa celebration. So I feel somewhat like the preachers in the church. This is a celebration. We are acknowledging our marvelous existence. So let's get into the program. As they say, when you hear the music, if you feel like dancing, do so. I know we've got marvelous dancers here. Dancing is in our blood. You want to sing along, do that as well. But at this moment, we will introduce our king and our queen. In fact, to introduce them, Ebony Barnes will come up. Where are you, Ebony? Here she is. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Hey, how's everyone doing? You don't have to excuse, that was my mom, so she was expecting that I was somewhere rushing and not here, but I was here. All right, I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Jabosi Akumabwa and Dr. Tharisa Akumabwa. As you'll see a bit about them, Dr. Jabosi is a professor of health sciences and health promotion at the University of Memphis, and he and she both work with at-risk populations, but you see his research is designed to improve the health status of underserved populations, and he and she both work together with the Let the Circle Be Unbroken rites of passage. Dr. Tharisa Akumabwa is a licensed clinical psychologist and certified prevention specialist. She serves as adjunct professor at the University of Memphis, and she is founder of the Beat the Odds organization, which honors and recognizes youth who are finding ways to overcome their odds in catastrophic situations. And that is on paper. But I'm gonna tell you what I know personally about these people. It is no coincidence, or rather, let me say, I'm not just up here because my mom is on the Mid-South Kwanzaa board. I'm up here because when I started my graduate studies, the first professor, the professor that took me in their lab and made their lab a safe space for young children of color and gave them the opportunity to get research experience that we could counter our other peers, and hooked us up with grants to fund us in our education when we didn't have money, and put me in a place to where now I can say I'm 1 year away from getting my doctorate. The person that did that was Dr. Tharisa Akumabwa. You all, they, and not just her, they invited us into their home. They introduced us to their children. I still know she. She facilitated, and not just for me, I'm just one student, one story. She facilitated and made possible things in my life that I know wouldn't have been possible otherwise. And I'm never one to underplay my own accomplishments. I worked really hard to get where I am, but I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the role that she played in my life and in other students' lives like mine. So, it is with the utmost honor, and to Dr. Akumabwa and Dr. Akumabwa, I let you know that I am forever grateful and present your king and queen, Dr. Jabosi Akumabwa and Dr. Tharisa Akumabwa.
to us a little later with a few words of inspiration. At this time, we will talk a bit about the purpose of Kwanzaa, exactly why we're here, why we do this every year. And to enlighten us, we have Colleen Land Williams. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Habaragani. 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 Welcome to all of you to this wonderful celebration. And we are going to talk about what is the purpose of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a cultural celebration. It is a celebration of ourselves. When you look at other cultures, they all have celebrations. The Irish do St. Patrick's Day. The other persuasion does 4th of July. And people have all sorts of holidays that they celebrate. We celebrate Christmas. But what happened to us that we needed to celebrate? We are a great people with a great heritage. We came from kings and from queens. But we were enslaved and brought to this country, not of our own volition. And of course, we lost all of our culture. So in 1966, after the Watts riots, Dr. Malana Karenga felt that it was only appropriate that we have a holiday to celebrate ourselves, because we have so often been told that we are not enough. But we are enough. We are here. Turn around and look at all these beautiful people and give yourselves a hand. We celebrate Kwanzaa for 7 days. The celebration begins December 26th, the day after Christmas, and culminates with a festival that you are attending today, which is Imani, on January 1st. We celebrate and we use the colors of red, black, and green. And those colors were given to us by the Honorable Messiah Marcus Garvey. The red is for the blood, it's for our struggle. The black is for the people, and the green is for the land, the continent. We all came from Africa. So today, we are celebrating so that we can be in unity with each other, that we are celebrating ourselves, and that we will go forward. We are going back to reclaim our heritage and all the wonderful things that our people are and have been. And if you just take a chance to look into the program today, you will see all of the things that have been invented by us. We are brilliant people. We are beautiful people. We are great people. I thank you all for being here today to celebrate this Kwanzaa with us.
So after that, is there anyone who does not know why they're here today? You got it, right? All right, we are together at First Principle Umoja, unity. It's a beautiful thing. All right, moving right along, we now have the candles in front of us, and for those who are here, in fact, if this is your very first Kwanzaa, raise your hand. All right, beautiful, beautiful, thank you. This is designed to be an enrichment experience, a learning experience. In fact, we all learn as we go. We learn from one another. So we want to talk a tad about the candles, and to do that, we have Lula Barnes. Let's give her a big ashe.
Habari gani? You look so beautiful. I mean, it just looks beautiful in here. And I am so proud, especially if this is your first. Oh, good. Especially if this is your first time being here. And everything. I'm so impressed. I wish the TV cameras were here so they could see all of us, beautiful people, and who we are. As you have learned, I hope you've learned something, that the colors of Kwanzaa is red, black, and green. And we use a kinara, as Sister Cookie Colleen was saying, to house the candles. For 7 days, we celebrate Kwanzaa from December 26th to January 1st. And they are represented, each day is represented by a candle, which is housed by the kinara. This is a candle holder. And the colors, as I was saying, red, black, and green, which was first used by Honorable Marcus Garvey. I forget my thoughts. Honorable Marcus Garvey in the Back to Africa movement. So the first candle for the first day of Kwanzaa is the black candle. It's in the center, which represents the people who died for us during that time. And are the children come here? Yeah. Are there any children here? Could you come up front? We always want to recognize our children. Just come up front and stand. We want to see you. We want you to learn something. Spread out. Can you go down a little bit over on this side so everybody can see you? We want all of the audience to see your pretty faces. You're beautiful. You are beautiful. Turn around. Okay. Black is beautiful. And the first candle, okay, the colors are red, black, and green. What are the colors of Kwanzaa? Oh, here they are. Okay. Red, black, and green. The black candle is symbolic of African people in unity, and it occupies the central point of the kinara. So we're going to let someone come up and light the black candle for us. Who would like? Okay, come around this way. Can you go around? Okay. The first principle of Kwanzaa is umoja. Say umoja. Which means unity. Okay, we're going to light the person. So each day, we only light a candle for that particular principle. There are 7 principles and there are 7 candles. Okay, you have to push it. See, like a sheet right now. Can you do that? Pull the trigger. Yeah, and push up. Yeah. No, I can do it. Let me do it. Give it to me. Okay, come on, hold on. Rita. Rita Israel is going to light the first candle for us, which represents Umoja, unity, because that's the first principle of Kwanzaa, Umoja. Thank you. Okay, the second candle we'll light will be the red candle. And the red represents the blood that was shed by our people. Okay, we'll let one young man. Is it better for you to stand in the front? Okay, do you know how to do it? You push this up and you pull the trigger. There you go. Good. And the second principle is Kuchi Chakalia, which means self-determination. Okay, we alternate, and we only light one candle for that particular day, for that particular principle. We alternate left to right. The next candle we'll light is one of the green candles, which represents the land, which is symbolic of the progress which comes out of that struggle. The progress, the land. Okay, we'll let another young lady. Okay, we'll let this young lady. Okay, we will light the green candle because we're alternating. And the green candle is Ujima. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Ujima. Collective, thank you. So what do we do next? Which candle do we light next? Red. We alternate red. Okay. We're going to light the red candle for the fourth principle, which is, come on, yeah. Ujama. Can you do it from over there or over there? You pull and you push. Like you're pulling it on and you push it. Okay, come around this way. Okay, the fourth principle of Kwanzaa is what? Ujamaa. And it means collective work and responsibility. Okay, where do we go next? Which candle do we light next? Back to the green. The fifth day of Kwanzaa is Kucha Chakalia. Okay, do you know how to? Nia. Okay, let's go. Can you do it? Oh, you got it. Okay, Nia means what? Purpose. Thank you. Okay, what's the next candle? Red.
The sixth day is Kuja Chakalia, which means
Kuumba, Kuumba creativity.
oh, okay, Kuumba.
Kuumba
Sorry.
create. Kuumba,
Okay.
Kuumba,
Can you reach it?
Kuumba, 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 Kuumba,
Kuumba, the sixth day.
Kuumba.
Okay, we would like the green. Okay, the green can. Okay, Kuumba means what? Creativity. Creativity.
Everybody say Kuumba.
Kuumba.
Everybody say Kuumba.
And this is the last day of Kwanzaa, which is Imani. So we only have one more candle to light, and that's
Imani,
Imani.
Imani, Imani.
Okay,
Everybody
Imani.
say Imani.
Which means faith. So what does Imani mean?
faith.
Faith.
Imani means faith. Imani means
we'll let
faith.
you.
Imani means faith. Imani means
Can you come
faith.
around this way?
Imani means faith. 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 Say faith. Say faith. Say
Let me
faith. Faith. Say faith. Faith. Say faith. Faith. Imani means faith.
Okay, she is.
Imani
Or maybe you
means
are.
faith. Imani means faith.
The last day of Kwanzaa, which we are celebrating today. Imani, which means what?
Imani
Faith.
means faith.
We appreciate each of you helping us out, and we have something special for all of our children for helping us out. We have some bags. You can go and
Seven principles.
Miss Francis,
Seven principles.
just go to
In Guzo Saba.
the lady with the bags.
In Guzo
You
Saba.
may receive a fruit
Guzo Saba.
and a bag,
In
a
Guzo
gift bag.
Saba.
So thank you for helping us out.
In Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. Everybody say In Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. Seven principles. Seven principles. In Guzo Saba. 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 Seven principles. 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 Everybody clap your hands to the rhythm if you would. Clap your hands to the rhythm. So let's do this little chant with us, y'all. Everybody seven principles. In Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. Seven principles. Seven principles. Guzo Saba. In Guzo Saba. Seven principles.
Seven principles.
Oh, let's do a little acapella, acapella. Everybody say, Nguzo Saba.
Nguzo Saba.
Seven principles.
Seven principles.
Nguzo Saba.
Nguzo Saba.
Seven principles.
Seven principles.
I ain't tell y'all stop clapping. Keep clapping too.
Principles.
Nguzo Saba.
Nguzo Saba.
Seven principles.
Seven principles.
Nguzo Saba.
Nguzo Saba.
Seven principles. Nguzo
Kwanzaa.
Saba. Seven principles.
Of Kwanzaa.
I saw some of y'all going to sleep out there, so I figured wake y'all up a little bit. Y'all had a rough night last night, and New Year's Eve. I know some of y'all didn't go to sleep. I know. So what was that word that I said earlier that I told everybody it meant Happy New Year? What was that phrase? Who remembers? Anybody? Now those of y'all who've been hanging out with me, Lane, don't you say that's my sister right there. Don't you say you've been singing this for years, y'all. Some of y'all who had not heard it before, do you remember what I said? Oh, Doom Day, oh, do yo. There we go. Give it up, Barbara. Okay, Barbara. So, this song was actually written by a man named Babatunde Olatunji. He was from Nigeria. Babatunde Olatunji came from Nigeria. He went to Morehouse back in the 40s. He went there to be a doctor. And once they found out he was from Africa, they said, well, can you do some cultural presentation for our, for some program? And he kept doing it, and people kept asking him, and he began to travel all around the United States and around the world doing African music and history. So he actually became a not necessarily a medical doctor as such, but as a musical doctor, spreading the message of the drum throughout the world. So the drums are very important. I have to let people know this because this is education and cultural celebration. Drums are about celebration in Africa. We use our drums to dance, to tell stories. We have talking drums in Africa that actually can speak languages. They actually speak language, just like you might speak French or English or whatever other language. Drums speak languages. So the drums are very important in our history and culture. When we came to America, the drums were taken away, especially after the Haitian Revolution. So, and the Stono Rebellion, which happened in 1739 down in South Carolina, they were marching to Fort Mose. They wanted to be free. So they were marching with their drums. And once the slave master found out that they were using drums to communicate also from slavery, the drum was outlawed. As a matter of fact, what we're doing right now, you might not believe this, but it's true. We are literally and technically, legally breaking the law right now by playing these drums because it was never taken off the books. So I might need the help of any lawyers in here. Kenneth, I know we got some lawyers in here. We might need to get out, So here we go. We're gonna do our Dunde Oduyo. Just repeat after me like this. Here we go. Oh Dunde, oh Dunde.
Dunde, oh Dunde.
Oh, stop the music. Some of y'all, it's better to sing with the rhythm. It's always better to sing. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Just repeat after me. Here we go. Oh Dunde, oh Dunde.
Oh Dunde, oh Dunde.
Oh Dunde, oh Duyo. Oh Dunde, oh Dunde. Oh Dunde, oh Duyo. Oh Dunde, oh Dunde. Oh Dunde, oh Duyo. Now there's another part that goes like this. It sounds like rap because rap actually came from Africa. Now I'm not talking about this ignorant stuff they talk about today. I'm not talking about this foolishness about gun violence and calling black women out their names. That's not rap. That's fake rap. Rap came from Africa. We call it, can everybody say kebetu? It came from, this is in the area of Mali, Senegambia. We actually call it kebetu. It was done by the old men, the jellies, what we might call griots. That's where rap really came from. And it evolved through the spirituals, through our oral tradition. It evolved up into the Black Power movement. That's why we call, what's his name? H. Rap Brown. She was rapping about stuff. Y'all know the first rap song that was a #1 hit? Y'all know. Say it loud. Say it loud. James Brown didn't sing a note in that song. It was a rap song about black consciousness. So remember, this is the historical and cultural facts about real rap. It came out of the black arts and the Black Power movement. So this part goes like this. Just repeat after me. It means this annual event. Here we go. Just repeat right after me. Here we go. Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon,
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon,
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon. Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Kwa 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 wasante yo. Ile ile, Odunde, Odunde. Ile ile, Odunde, Odunde, Odunde.
Yebo, yebo.
Okay, I need y'all to help me out a little bit. When you hear the drum, clap, clap with the drum. Here we go. Everybody clap with the drum.
Yebo.
Now, I'm gonna put a little bass in your face. Little bass in your face. Clap with the bass.
Yebo. Yebo. Whoop. Yep.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Whoop. Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Yebo.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Ajadon, Ajadon, Ajadon.
Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Odunde, Odunde,
Odunde,
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, Odunde,
Odunde, Odunde.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, Odunde,
Odunde, Odunde.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Odunde, 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 Oduyo. Odunde, 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 Oduyo.
Odunde, Oduyo.
Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Kudos to the dancers, to the dancers.
All right. Ashe for that. And Ekpe, it's the African Jazz Ensemble. Let's give them a hand. Beautiful job they do. At this time, we introduced our king and queen a moment or two ago, but we'd like to have a word or two from each of them. So let's, who'd like to go first?
I'll go first and my wife will come.
All right.
You want to stand there or you want to come up here? Yeah, I'll go.
Come on up here so everyone can see you. Ashe, let's welcome our king, Dr. O.
Give him a hand as he comes.
Abarigani.
Imani.
Abarigani.
Imani.
We thank God for today. We thank God for 2024. It's a privilege for my wife and I to be invited to participate in this wonderful, great event. Not just my wife and myself, but also our friends and family members that are here with us today. We want to thank the Kwanzaa Incorporated organization, Miss South Kwanzaa Incorporated. We also want to thank Reverend Fisher for all they are doing and other people in the church, Abyssinian Baptist Church, Missionary Baptist Church, in all they are doing in order to remind us who we are, where we come from, and not to forget our values as African people. Now, you wonder why Imani is the last day of Kwanzaa. And last day of Kwanzaa is faith. Faith is the foundation of all that we do in life. Imani is the foundation of Kwanzaa, the 7 principles. You got to dig like you have a house. The foundation is what sustains the house. You got to deep to get to the foundation. So today is the culminating event of today's Kwanzaa celebration. It takes us back to the foundation of our being. Foundation of who we are. Faith. If we can capture that, if we can continue to work on sustaining our faith in the Creator, if we want, we got to believe in ourselves. Believe in the powers of our ancestors, those who have gone before us. Believe in our Creator. Believe in our teachers. Believe in our other people, that the elders who are wise, who can lead us further than where we are. And it all comes down to our faith. Yes. And that is Imani. The last day. The last day, we always save the last, the best for the last. So we are so grateful that to be a part of this great event. And I thank you very much, and continue to work, make Kwanzaa, make Imani, and there's the 7 principles of Kwanzaa every day of your life. Make it a part of your living. Yes. Let it not be one day event, because that guides our values as a people. We appreciate being here. I'm going to bring my wife up. Thank you very much.
Habari Gani. Faith. The substance of things hoped for,
evidence of things not seen. That is faith. I am so moved to be here this afternoon, this evening, with Ebony bringing those words of faith. I recall when she came to the University of Memphis, and her experience as she started, the faith that she had, that she would be successful. Yes. There were all kind of obstacles that could have gotten in the way if she didn't have faith. But it took me back to when I was her age, and I came to the same Memphis state. I had faith. But had I not had the elders in my community, my family back home, the people that I met here and connected with, who helped me to maintain my faith that I could be successful. As I listen each and every day on the radio, television, questions asking us, what do we need to do to bring our children back to a place of faith? It's right here. This is the answer. This is the way I've been responding for the past 6 months or a year as I heard the question. We need, as elders in the community, to bring our children, to expose our children, to make sure that our children are exposed to these principles of Kwanzaa. All of them. Not just for ourselves, not just for them, but for the entire community and world. Yes. Yes. So we've got to do that, y'all. In order to save our children, our community, our world, we've got to let them know all of the principles, starting with Kumba, creativity, starting with Ujama, cooperative economics. You can't do it by yourself. That's right. I don't care how hard you try. Kuji Chakalia, self-determination. Give in, give out, but never, never, ever give up. Yes. You've got to be self-determined. Umoja, unity. Even when I get weak sometimes and I want to give up, I need you. Just a little touch. Say, hey, baby, how you doing? That's right. How your day going? Come on, you can do it. Ujima, collective work. Not by myself again, but with my community. Nia, purpose. Each and every day, when you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, what is my purpose today? Why am I here? Even remind your kids. Remind the next door neighbor's kid that there's a reason and there's a season. Even if you are confronted with adversity, hey, it's not going to last always. That's right. So hang in there. Hold on. This too shall pass. Imani, we back to the faith. So we got to hold on to all of these principles, not one of them, not two of them, but all of them together. I thank you for inviting us here today, and I have certainly got a tremendous personal experience out of this, and I'm hoping that each of you are going home, renewed. Thank you.
Coming behind that, we will hear from the blackest pastor, preacher, not only in Shelby County, but I dare say in this part of the world. All right. We'll have a word or two from Pastor Fisher. Dr. Fisher.
Pastor Fisher.
Right.
Take that jacket off so we can see that nice dashiki. Take that thing off, man. I see that dashiki. Is it black enough for you? Is that black enough for you?
Habargani.
Imani.
Brother Ekpe told me to take my jacket off. He wanted me to show off what I've been doing in the weight room over the last 3. Oh, no. He said he wanted y'all to see the dashiki. I was going to say, you have to tell Denise, you know what I'm saying, that, listen, I cannot express the depth of my gratitude and joy to see all of you. And as I have traversed through the audience, and as many of you know, when you're the blackest church in Memphis and Shelby County and the blackest pastor, as was stated to earlier, you have to multitask. So I don't just preach and pray. I run the cameras when Denise ain't here to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to adjust the sound. Y'all lucky I can't sing, or else I'd do a little bit of that. But to hear the conversation that has been taking place based upon the information that has been shared does my heart good. Hearing people talk about how this church represents God and God's people in a righteous and relevant, revolutionary, and upright way. As I think about what is printed in the program talking about reclaiming our heritage, part of what we are committed to at Abyssinian is reminding our people of what actually belongs to us. One of the things I bump up against with regularity is the notion that our faith tradition is somehow the white man's religion. I don't know, if y'all have read these scriptures as I have, and I can understand if people hadn't studied them to the degree by which I have, having been in seminary and in some other spaces of formal educational and institutional training. But I mean, just do the basic geography. This black man, I'm talking about the one that y'all see on the wall over there. By the way, if y'all find another church where there's a black Messiah in the sanctuary, y'all take a picture and send it to me because I want to see it and I want to visit. Y'all hear that? Dr. Brooks, you hear that? That's my dear brother. Y'all give it up for Reverend Dr. Kevin Andre Brooks, the pastor of the second blackest church in Memphis, Providence A&M Church. But he was born close enough to Egypt to walk to get there. Last time I checked, before the geopolitical term of the Middle East was instituted, Egypt is in Africa.
That's right.
And I don't know how you would take a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby to Egypt to hide. The only way you will take a baby to Egypt to hide is if that baby looked like the rest of the babies in the area. So the last time I checked, if the faith tradition was actually founded by a northeastern African named Jesus or Yeshua HaMashiach, then how can a black man's religion be the white man's religion? How can black folks' religion be the white folks' religion? This is one of the ways in which we seek to reclaim our history. That is all that Kwanzaa is about. It's reminding us of who we are and whose we are. And so every time I see us gathered in this sacred space and other sacred spaces like it, I'm reminded of the depth of our reach and our power and our history and our testimony. Y'all are always welcome to be in this space. I know this is going to sound like a shameless plug, but I remember being in this space last year, as I said, at the offset of this program, for those of you who are black enough to come to programs late. Let me just repeat it for you. We do Kwanzaa 365. Matter of fact, y'all seen the news here a few minutes ago. I remember around this time last year, Sister Colleen, one of the news stations wanted to come in and interview me about Kwanzaa. And they looked around and they saw the Black Power fist in the backdrop. They saw some of the other African garb and kente cloths and things of that nature. They say, "We love how you have the sanctuary decorated for Kwanzaa." I said, "Excuse me? This been like this all year." So every time you come to this space, you're welcome. And I know with all that we have seen and heard and felt and experienced over the last several minutes in this space, over the last several days in spaces all around the community, there are people who want to stay connected throughout the year. I think of two wonderful organizations and institutions that you should stay connected to. These aren't the only two. Look at somebody say, not the only two. For somebody think I'm trying to throw shade, I'm not. I love all black folk who love black folk. I said, I love all black folk who love black folk. I'm praying for the ones who don't. Matter of fact, if y'all heard our motto, is I love God, I love the black Messiah, and I love black folks. I tell my folks, say it even if you lying until it become true. So I love black folk who love black folk. I'm praying for the rest of us. So 2 organizations that I think we should be connected to. I'm going to say 3 now because I see some of my elders in this building that definitely need their organization lifted up too. Y'all give it up for Mid-South Kwanzaa Incorporated. I think you could do a little bit better than that. I said give it up for Mid-South Kwanzaa Incorporated. An organization that we should be December until we gather together again. One of the ways we should be angling our efforts and energy is around the organizations who do things year-round. Mid-South Kwanzaa is one. There's another that I want to lift up. I want the Honorable David and Yvonne Acey to stand up for Africa in April. Come on, family. Y'all show them some love. Amen. That is without a doubt another organization that we should be fully supporting year-round, not just a few weeks in April. They do events all year. They support. One of the things I love about them, and this is the kind of contest that I think we should have. You know, I really feel like I'm out of order, but then I realize I'm the pastor of the church, so I guess I'm all right. You know, nobody is going to out-support them. They show up to everybody's stuff. That's a good place to clap. I said they show up to everybody's stuff and have done so for a long time. They got blood, sweat, and tears in the bricks, in the streets, and the buildings of Memphis and Shelby County. So Mid-South Kwanzaa and Africa in April. I know that there are others, but there's this one that I'm going to leave you with. Look around. Y'all looking at me. I said, look around. Look around. Y'all see all of these beautiful people? Take a deep breath. Blow it out. Y'all hear that music? Close your eyes. Y'all feel that energy? It's something that should be experienced and encountered on a regular basis. And it's something that we try to promote, produce, and practice at the Blackest Church in Memphis and Shelby County. Now, for some of you who've been lying, talking about you spiritual but not religious, I said for some of y'all who've been lying, talking about you spiritual but you're not religious, and the reason many of us say this is because we don't like to be held to any standard of accountability and responsibility in community and organization and institution. And for those of you who've been saying, see, them black churches, they ain't doing nothing out in the community. Well, I know one. And I will put our resume up against any of them. And I know we can do so much more if you were connected to us. So the third organization and institution that one that you are in right now, and we just encourage all of you reclaim the legacy and the history of the black faith community in the church where you are currently located. Matter of fact, if you're in North Memphis and you don't want to drive to Whitehaven, then I'm saying go to Providence AME Church. Stand up, Dr. Brooks. Y'all give it up for Dr. Brooks. Are there any other pastors? I know there's some preachers in here, and all of us are men and women of the Most High. Brothers, sisters, friends, and kin. Are there any other pastors here? Now, I want y'all to think about what just happened. Last time I checked, I say this every Sunday, there are about 4,000 churches in the city of Memphis. And I'm sure between last week and this week, there's at least one more somebody started somewhere. And out of 4,000 churches, when you start talking about Imani and Kwanzaa and the blackest churches in Memphis, you got 2 pastors in the building. Now, I'm not saying that we are the only churches that are doing good work. So don't walk out of here lying on me. Some of y'all are streaming this, okay? So tell them, play the tape back. Don't lie. Because there are wonderful churches all around the community. I'm saying you should be connected to one of them. But for those of you who aren't connected to any of them, you don't have to wait until next month or next year or next Kwanzaa. You are in one. We ain't hard to find. Tupac said, though I'm worldwide, baby, I ain't hard to find. So at any given time, you can connect to us. For those of you who are on social media, Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, Abyssinian Baptist Church Memphis. If you are on Instagram, at ABC Ministries, the number 1. If you want an email address, it is abcministries, the number 1 @gmail.com. As a matter of fact, on your way out, if you look on the table, there is a graphic there with all of that information and a number that you can text to be part of our mobile service. Please just take a picture of it on your way out. And do it because what we are doing is not theirs, it's ours. It belongs to us. It came from us. And it's time for us to own it. Let the people of God say Ashe.
There's nothing like words from the blackest preacher at the blackest church. Ashe. All right. Now, before Omar comes up, I'd like to thank. I was a bit remiss when I came up earlier. Give it up for our speakers. You did a wonderful job. Thank you. Thank you. And now we have Brother Omar. Come on up, Brother Omar. Man of wisdom, man of intelligence. He will share and enlighten you in his own way. Ashe.
Although I'm an elder, I need the elder to give me permission to speak. Thank you. Habarigani. I'm going to say a little bit, and just a very little bit, about names. It said naming ceremony. When they brought us over here, they took away our names, and they gave us a number. And then when we died, they threw us down under the sea. And then we got government names. And if you look in and start Googling Washington, you'll find more black people had the name Washington than white people. Although George Washington, one of the original slave owners, the founding fathers, the founding slaveholders, had more slaves than most people on most plantations. He knew he was out of order, and that's why when he died, he was trying to free the slaves. But again, Washington. And my teacher, I was a Sunday school teacher when she stopped teaching Sunday school. But she kept telling me to change my name. And it took me a little while to understand it. But after a while, I realized my culture and my history. Think about that. The king and queen came from Africa. But where did we come from? We came from Africa through the loins of our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. But we have the slave master's name, which should not be our name. And my father, when he talks about what happened to him, he talks about his grandmother being raped by the slave master. And the children were real light complected, looked white. And he made her name the child after the slave master, Ed Scott. So the child became Ed Scott Jr. And then his father named him Ed Scott Jr. And then I became Ed Scott Jr. He couldn't read or write. He signed his name Ed X. I thought he was a Muslim. I didn't know. But at my third year of college, he passed away. But I can never forget the history. Because even though he looked white, he sat on the front of the bus, he could hear white folks talking about us. He couldn't stand them. Because he looked white, straight hair, but they didn't like black folk. And his wife was jet black, my mother. Jet black. 16 children, everybody married somebody dark complected to put color back in the family. They knew their history. They knew what happened to them. Our children don't know our history, but they need to know. And once you know your history, then you're going to change everything you do in this world. Right. And because of that, my children, I have 7 children, and I let the spirit of the ancestors help me give the children a name. In fact, one of my good friends is sitting back there in the back, Nkrumah. Please stand, Brother Nkrumah. My good friend, high school mate, next door neighbor, named Nkrumah Nantandu, after Sir Oswald Nantandu. But he and I got lifted up by the same angel, Dr. Oswald Nantandu. But my children, I figured out I didn't want to name my children no slave master's names, so I gave all of them African names. My daughter, one of my daughters graduated from the University of Memphis, Khalida. As I'm holding her, because I'm there in the operating room and they give me her, and I named her Khalida because I felt a moral spirit that said, this is who you are. And she became a writer, and right now we're writing a book together called Stop Killing My People. She inspired me to help her write the book because we both wrote poetry. And some of the poetry I wrote went to Reader's Digest when I was a student at Lemoyne, and I got paid for it, first, second prize. The first prize I got was $5,000 as a freshman at Lemoyne College, Reader's Digest magazine. I named my children Omari. When I got him in my arms, I felt the spirits, they call him Dr. Omari. Not just Omari, but Dr. Omari. I'm Omar, you Omari. Praise with the highest praise. And he is Dr. Omari today. PhD. His research is on cancer. Why do black folk lead the way in cancer? And he found out we eat more junk food than anybody else. American Medical Association published a lot of his articles in the American Medical Association Journal. But Dr. Omari, but every one of my 7 children, Kareem, Nataki, Zakia, everybody got an African name. I even went to court because Oswald kept bugging me about when you're going to change your name. I went to court in 1984 with a document to change my name. And George Wyatt Chandler, who used to be Mayor Wyatt Chandler, was the judge at that time. And when I came into court with the document that Oswald gave me, he looked at me and said, you ain't trying to dodge paying taxes or paying bills, are you? No, sir. And then he said, I tell you what, you come back next Wednesday. I asked the bailiff, I said, why you got to come back next Wednesday? He said, I'm not sure, but I don't think he wants you to change your name. And next Wednesday I did come back, and I changed it from Ed Scott Jr. to Omar Muhammad Baruti. Omar praised Baruti, the teacher. And I changed it to that because the word Baruti means teacher or minister. And my first year out of college, I started teaching school at 20 years old. No teaching credentials. I didn't go to school to be a teacher. I went to school to be a biologist. But because they were drafting biologists, but they weren't drafting teachers, I taught. And I was teacher of the year the first year with no teaching credentials. I moved from Syracuse, New York, because I couldn't stay in snow. 5 feet of snow in May. I'm trying to dig my car with some snow. I moved to St. Louis, and I taught in East St. Louis. Still with no teaching credentials. They get them later. We need you to teach these science classes. And then my second year there, I was teacher of the year again. But I became Omar Baruti, the minister as well, with the Nation of Islam. Because the word Baruti means teacher or minister, leader or guide. What I want you to do is quit naming your children slave master's name. Quit doing that. Somebody said their name was Imani when they walked in here. That's a name that you need to hold on to. But an African name, a name that means something. So your children can live up to the name that you gave them. Not the name the slave master gave you that you gave your children. You ain't Nancy. You ain't Lucy. You ain't Bell Pepper, Mr. Fish, Brother Hamhock. That's not you. Let's go back to African names because that's where we came from. That's our heritage, that's our culture, and a name means something. And if you give the child a name and he lives and grows up into that name, then he can be a ruler. He can be the genius in that house. We got to make sure we go down that path. And I know your uncle and your great uncle was named Walter, but that ain't you. And you excuse Walter because he didn't know any better either. Go back and give your children African names. And what you should do, everybody in this audience, find the document it takes to change your name today. Now, some people just adopt the name. They keep the name they got on paper, the government name, and they just named themselves something else without a legal change. I took a legal change. I ain't trying to hold on to his name, ever. I want us to understand our culture, our history. And if we do that, like the sister was saying earlier, about how we have to help our children, if we do what we're trying to do right now, go back to our own culture, our own heritage, our own religion, our children will have a different path to walk in this world, and they won't walk down the criminal path that white folks have us walking down today.
That's right.
They won't do that because they know where we came from. They know what we're capable of doing. And they know how we built this world for white people.
That's right.
And how we can build it for ourselves.
That's right.
So take that name. And if you got a child with one of them non-cultural names, change it. It's worth changing. And then make it so that they can walk in the path of our African history, our African culture. This black man, this from Africa, built civilization.
That's right.
They built this country. The White House was built by slaves. They should call it the Black House, but we'll let them slide. But we built it. But let's go back. Let's go all the way back. I don't care if you're 70, 80 years old. Go back and change your name. Go back and re-inherit your culture. And go back and teach your children the ways of Mother Africa, so we can save our children from the death and destruction that this sister just mentioned. Yeah, we got to do that. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We will win.
Beautiful, powerful message. Thank you so much. Ashe, Ashe. Now we have kings and queens, princes and princesses in the house. Kwanzaa is about honoring and remembering and paying homage to our ancestors, but it's also about recognizing those among us who are making a difference in the community. And if you look at your program, you will see the photos of 9 people. And we want to recognize those people at this moment. So if you are one of the honorees, if you are a king or queen, would you please come up now? We have the 2 Dr. O's. We have Walter Casey. We have Patricia Lee, Detrick Salter, Kenneth Anderson, Yvonne Williams, the Riches, and Maduki. Give them a hand as they come up. We're proud of them. They are doing a marvelous work in the community. They are making us proud by their lives and their contributions. And you can read all about it. I'll hit on it briefly, but we will allow them 2 minutes. And if they go more than 2 minutes, Ekpe is going to do something special on the drum. Okay, great. And we can go along with what you see here. Colleen, would you come and help me? We have certificates for everyone. We want them to remember. Okay, Cookie. All right. Our first certificates, you've already heard them. We want both of our Dr. O's. Would you please stand? Theirs? They're in there somewhere. Okay. To our doctors, both of them, we appreciate you for embracing and supporting programs of community building, family, liberation, and culture. We are African people, and this is from Mid-South Kwanzaa Incorporated. We have one for both of our king and our queen. Let's give them a hand, please. All right, now, where is Walter Casey? There he is. Come on over here, Walter Casey. How many of you know Walter Casey? Raise your hand if you know Walter Casey. If you don't know Walter Casey, that means you know nothing about the Binghamton community and Leicester Community Center. This young man has been the only center director, and I believe you were there for what, 200 years? 47 through 55 years. Give that a hand. And he wasn't just a director, he was the anchor of the community. The children loved him, the parents loved him, even the guys on the corner loved him. He made amends for them. He allowed them to come to the center when it should have been closed. He did so much, and he has received so many commendations and awards and recommendations from the city and other places. And we need to, as we are now, let him know that you are appreciated. And let's hear a word from him.
Thank you very, very much. First of all, let me thank the people that made up this committee that even had the time to select me. And I couldn't agree more with the President, Queen, and King about the things that are going on in the black community. We need to really, you call it gathering the wagons and circling the wagons to help those kids out. But we've got to continue to help those kids out regardless of what they do to try to bring them on the understanding that these principles that we're talking about are most important things that they need to know about and they need to hear. So I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with me being selected and helping out in the black neighborhoods. Thank you.
In fact, some of the initial Kwanzaa celebrations that we had were at Leicester Community Center. The city didn't want it to happen, but Mr. Casey said, you're going to do it, and we did. Thank you again. All right. All right, is Patricia Lee with us? No? Okay, maybe she'll come in before we finish. What about Dietrich Salter? All right, did I pronounce that correctly? All right, let's give Dietrich a hand. Now, Dietrich is, in my opinion, the man. You know, oftentimes we have young people, and some old as well, who experience challenges. And, you know, they stray away for a minute. All right, well, Dietrich strayed for a second, but he came back with power. He came back with a purpose, not only for himself, but his family and his community, and he has organized other men who are fathers and are making a difference in their relationships with their home, their children, and in the community. And we need more men. Needless to say, you know, the women are saying that all the time, and the men may say we need more women, but I'm a woman, and we need more men to stand up and do their thing. Dietrich, we congratulate you, and we want to hear a word from you.
Good afternoon, everybody. First off, I just would like to say thank you to God for giving me the opportunity, for putting the purpose in my heart, and for allowing me to go through the things I went through to be able to share and be an example to the other guys in the community. The last day of Kwanzaa is faith, and I believe that I'm an example of their principle. I believe in our community. I believe in my people. I believe in my family. Thank my wife for holding me down, and a special thanks to one of my mentors, Mr. Casey. It's just funny, both of us being honored today, and he the one that gave me the principles to live by. Even when I strayed away, I feel back on what Mr. Casey had taught us growing up, and it led me to right here. So I'm just appreciative. I thank God. I thank Mr. Closell and everybody here for having us and honoring us, man. It's just unbelievable to me to come from where I come from and be standing here amongst y'all. So thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, Ekpe has a song about black on black love. That's what this is all about. That's what Kwanzaa is about, black on black love. All right. Let's see, we have a husband and wife who are enriching the land. You know, they realize that so many of us eat so much junk food, it's a shame. But these are people who are working the earth, the ground, and planting and allowing people, community to come in and utilize the services for free. They are helping them and training them and providing tutorials and learning centers. And I'm referring to Bobby and Darabia Rich. Where are you? Come on over. Let's hear a word from you.
Hello, hello. I just want to thank everyone for being here today. I am it's always heartfelt to be in environments like this where I'm able to see your beautiful faces and celebrating events like Kwanzaa. Bobby and I, we work hard at Black Seeds, and so when we're being honored by people in our community and our family, we are so thankful for that. I definitely want to give a special Egg Pay, Mama Io and Sa for them to always to keep our family, our community, our village close to us. So thank you. We started off doing this little garden project, and it has turned into a community pillar. And we're just thankful for the support and the love and just to be honored on today. So thank you all so much.
How are y'all doing today? Yes, thank you for having us. Just trying to think of what I wanted to say because I know I don't have that much time. But the time of 1492 popped into my head for some weird reason. And a lot of what we do at Black Seeds is we restore. But that word on its own doesn't really mean anything, right? But what are you restoring? What happened before there needed to be restoration, right? Why? So I ask myself those questions, even when I restore land on blighted property. Who was there before I was there? Who planted the trees here? Who planted the orchards? It's because the plants are still there, but the people are gone, right? And so before 1492, when Western Europeans first arrived here on a place called Turtle Island, which is another ancient name for America, what they thought that they saw was a garden. It was so beautiful and so highly managed, so highly managed, that these people thought what they saw was the Garden of Eden. Like, I've read the memoirs. It was so beautiful. But the narrative oftentimes is that these people were just heathens, just kind of like throwing persimmons in their mouths, just waiting to be saved by God, right? But these people were scientists, biologists. These people were doctors, and very highly skilled in farm management. And so a lot of what I do is make those people visible again. Because in my field, agriculture, they share practices, but they don't really give credit to where the practices came from. And I take that very seriously, but I know I'm running out of time. I can hear my wife kind of hear me on the side. But this is a very complete moment for me right now. So I just want to say thank y'all for having me. And Egg gave me some seeds that he makes his shakers with. And so I just want to challenge y'all to think about that. Food is also fiber, and it's also medicine, and it's also where we get our music from. So I want y'all to really bring this stuff fully in. Where are all the rattlers at when we eat? You know, where are the shakers? So all this stuff is a part of the same spirit. It truly is. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, do we have Kenneth Anderson? Is Kenneth Anderson? Oh, all right, he said yes. And he spoke like a lawyer, someone in that legal field. All right, if you need any assistance, here he is. But not only is he a lawyer, he's a man of the people. You know, social concerns, your concerns, our concerns. That's where his heart is. He originally was here from North Memphis, I believe.
New Chicago.
New Chicago, okay, but he went north to Boston, Baltimore, okay.
DC.
All right.
New York.
And guess what? He came back home. Oftentimes, that's the problem that I see. You know, it's okay to go away to college and to go and get more education, but we sometimes forget the people that helped us get there. So we have to recognize those who are with us, and we want to hear a word or two from Mr. Anderson. Here you go.
Thank you, and I'll be brief. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for affording me the chance to start the new year off with this type of energy. I was trying to remember what I was doing last year at this time, and I was actually in New York finishing a fun weekend of partying. And this is 180 degrees different from that, and I feel like just what I need to move forward in this year in a transformational and intentional way. I think the reason why I was honored up here today with Bobby and Arabia, ironically, is because I own a family homestead farm I live on with my wife and 2 sons called Everbloom Farms. And in the past few years, we've been focused on ways of connecting and utilizing our home and farm for community development, intentionally around food production. Without food security and food sovereignty, you are not free.
That's right.
The shortest path to slavery and enslavement is food insecurity. And ironically, we live in the country that is most overfed and most undernourished, and we represent the top of that pyramid in ways that only harm us. And so within the last year, we founded Everbloom Pharmacy, a nonprofit focused on increasing food production, food literacy and education, and food advocacy for us and by us. To that end, we opened a nursery that is the only, as I've been able to find thus far, the only black-owned nursery in Western Tennessee on our farm. But we didn't start that nursery immediately about focused on making money. The first project of the nursery was a community learning project. And so starting this month, like we started last year in January, we are starting to sow seeds with volunteers on our farm each week for free. And those seeds, as they grow into seedlings, are then invested into our families in our community in the form of at-home gardens for free. Our goal is to continue to scale this up. Last year we gave over 2,500 seedlings away. We're planning on doubling or tripling that this year. We're going to support education. And the simple reality of it is we believe that controlling our own food source, especially at this point in history locally, is the only way to ensure our future. And so we grow food to grow people, to grow more resilient and healthy community, all of which benefits us. And I look forward to working with more of you than I've worked with in the past and continue to work with those who've soldiered with us before. Thank you.
Ashe. Ashe. We want all of our honorees to remain for a group photo when we finish. All right, moving right along. Is Yvonne Williams here? Here she is, looking beautiful. All right, Yvonne Williams, if you read anything, and this is only a portion of everybody's information, actually, but this lady is just so busy. She's done so much and is doing so much. I got tired reading it. No, she's doing a wonderful thing in the community, and we will let her tell you a bit about it. Thank you. And let me just say, I think it is Abarigani. All right, I learned that today. All right. I am certainly honored to be here. I honor the Lord, and I honor Pastor Fisher. God bless you. And the organizer of Kwanzaa, especially my brother, Claudia, and my sister-in-law, Colleen Williams. God bless you for this honor. I thank God on today for the program that we have. It is Life Together, Inc. Found Escape Program, which is designed to help ex-offenders get out and stay out of prison. We do that with a curriculum-based program. And one of the things that we do, we teach men about authentic manhood. We teach them what it means to be an authentic man. We also teach women about authentic love and let them know that they were not put in the earth to be abused. And one of the things that I would like to leave with you is something that I wrote, and I just want to say this real quickly. As we conclude this celebration for Kwanzaa today, let us continue to embrace the heritage of the ancestors. Let us endeavor to walk in unity as a people, love our family unconditionally, and exemplify the faith that we proclaim. How should we do this? We should do this by giving back to our community positive energy that promotes success by inspiring our brothers and sisters, our young men and young women, to be courageous and to maintain self-determination. We should do this by educating them that they are descendants of kings and queens who believed in excellence, lived in dignity, and valued human life with all of its possibilities. May each of us take away from Kwanzaa increased faith and strength to walk in our destiny and to fulfill our purpose. God bless you and thank you for this honor. All right, Ashe. Ashe. Beautiful. Okay. Let me get the program. Thank you. That was beautiful. That was from the heart. Wonderful. All right. And we have an artist in our group. But before she comes up, I think we should sing happy birthday to her because this is actually her birthday today. Can you do a little happy birthday? Happy birthday. Okay, I'm not a singer. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Come on. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Come on over here, Mary. Come on over. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. One woman to another. I will not ask you how old you are. Okay.
Young.
Yes. 81. Oh, only she's 81 years young. All right. And looking good. All right. She is also a noted, a famed artist for more than 40 years. Yes.
All my life, actually.
Okay. She, you probably have seen her work somewhere and didn't know. But she has art that's all over the United States and beyond. All right. In fact, we'll let her say a word or two.
Okay. Well, I'm so honored. I want to say that Reverend Andre Brooks and the Providence Church first wanted to do a tribute to me. I was trying to get to D.C. to be with my children and my family. That didn't work out, and I had to, I couldn't be a part of that tribute that they wanted to do. And I just found out yesterday that I was a part of this tribute. I had no idea. And so I felt, really unprepared, but yet honored, that the Memphis Mid-South Kwanzaa felt this way about me. that I could, that they would give me a tribute today. Now, one of the main things I want to do, I had a setup of some of my art over here, but it's all dedicated to Sister Kaia, Dr. Kaia, because before she passed away, she saw one of my art pieces, and she loved it, and she started to buy it from me. She was paying on it, and she passed away before she could get it. So I've had the piece for a long time, and I wanted to give it to Patricia and the Emoji Foundation. And then, let's see, I wanted to, I tried to give it, I wanted it to put it someplace, you know, in honor of her. So I talked with Sister Frances Barnes this morning, yesterday, and she said, we would be honored to have it. The Mid-South Kwanzaa would be honored to have this piece. It's signed off to Sister Kaia, and also something else very important. Everything is over on the table. Maybe you all would get to look at it or whatever. But another thing that Sister Kaia was stressing that is very important, and I have copies over on the table. She, at her going home celebration, she had her children to pass out a living will form, and they stressed how important that is. And here we're talking about health, our health. We're talking about all the things that we have to do now to be in charge of in our community. Well, she passed out this form. So I have created an addendum to the form that stresses the difference between the allopathic system and the homeopathic system. And we have to know what that means, because just recently I had to go through the whole allopathic system, and I had been on the homeopathic system for many years, and the stress and the trauma of having to take artificial medicines that have more side effects than the illness, than whatever it is you're dealing with. So I just wanted to say all these things, as much as I know I'm over time here, but I wanted to dedicate my presentation to Sister Kaia and Sister Nantambu, who have, they brought the Kwanzaa spirit, and they tried to maintain that. And it's so good to see it going on and to grow like this. So I thank you so much for this honor today.
Ashe. We have a certificate. We have the certificate over there. Okay, if all of our honorees will come over here together, I think they won't. We're going to get a picture of you. Let's get right over here. Okay. All right. Before we get the photo, we have, of course, whose is it? Is she here? Well, here she is. Patricia Lee, come on over. Excuse me just a minute. We're going to keep it rolling, but you're a part of the roll. And we have to have everybody. If you don't know Patricia Lee, this is one of the hardest working women in the States. She does a lot for everybody. A lot for everybody, anytime. You want to say a word or two? We're going to keep it moving.
Abargani. Imani, what you saying, Brother Akbar? Because I was out of uniform. But I got the locks.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and David AC, the ACs rather. I think, do I have yours? Oh, no, I'm giving that to her. But we always want a word from you. Come on. You good.
Thank you very much. David and Yvonne AC with African April, and we'll be celebrating 37 consecutive years of African April this April the 19th through 20th. But if I can take a moment of privilege, I taught 40 years at the University of Memphis, and not about me, and always fought for African American people to be included in the system. And I stepped in here today, my brother DK told me, our king and queen, Brother Jabose, and would you please stand, both of you all? He came, we pushed the university. I told them we have Russian, we have Chinese language, we don't have anybody speaking African language. We got Dr. Jabose hired at Memphis State and his wife. Dr. Jabose, we honor you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to belong to time, but it's so important to know who we are, where we came from, and where we're going. It's very important. And our simple philosophy is the way you treat people is the way you treat God. So that's all you have to do. So in my whole internal life, a child life, my wife and I, we have always been very Afrocentric. And even the difficulties that we face trying to do it from our own people. But they had somebody else's mind inside their head. When you've been taught that all white people did everything when you went to high school, grammar school, kindergarten, and you grew up in a segregated community, you thought white people did everything. You know, and they had Tarzan, the king of the jungle. Hell, I wanted to be like the monkey. Cheetah. Tarzan could speak to the animals. In other words, if you got somebody else's mind inside of your head, you're out of your mind. So in my whole tenure at the university, I tried to put us back in our right mind. The mind is like a computer. You can only get out of what you put in it. If they put all that white junk in it, that's all you give back, right? So I told them I got 3 months to put y'all back in y'all right mind. I'm going to teach you all about Africa and about us. Now, some of y'all not going to want to go. So we're going to have to work very hard to work on you. But I'm so proud of Dr. Fisher. I was one of his mentors. I'm not trying to talk about me. At the University of Memphis, I'd let him come to class, do what you want to do, teach what you want to teach, and look at him now. So he's carrying it on. That's what you all got to do. We all got to follow now, and your wife and your family. And we got to donate some money to him, too. You can't do anything without money. We can talk a good talk, but you're going to take Dr. Fisher and groups like him to give him some finance to do what they have to do. Listen, freedom is not free. I'm going to be quiet a minute. Freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. You don't only have to sacrifice, give up your whatever you have to do to make things come true, but you got to put some money into it. Put some money into it. We got the effort, we got to talk, but we got to walk the walk. So you need to give some money to the poorest church in Memphis, according to Dr. Fisher. All right? Now, I'm serious. This is serious business. A dime, nickel, quarter, whatever it is, you can do it. And God has blessed us to go to 16 African countries inside the pyramid, saw Mandela. So anything you can dream, you can do for the young people. Anything you can dream, you can do. So you got to get on it, and you got to be about it. And we're so happy to see all of the honorees here. Ms. Bonds, we've been with her a long time, with Nantan Boo and all, and Usopp. All of us have been doing all we can to bring us to where we need to be. And God didn't bring us this way to leave us alone, to leave us. So we're going to make it. But we got to keep the faith, and it's about practice. You can't say you're African, love the branch, but don't love the roots. Okay, so I'm through with that one. So come on with it now. You got to wear it. You can't just talk it. You got to practice it every day, every hour. Every day we wake up, we say, thank you, Almighty God, whoever your God is, Ra, Ta, Elohim, Jehovah, all of them. Ain't but one God. But anyway, I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to let my wife, who's been my wings beneath my wings for 47 years. My African name is Kamara. It means teacher. Hers is Sewayana. So Sewayana.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be in the house of Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church under Dr. Earl Fisher. We bring you greetings from Mount Vernon Baptist Church, Westwood. And then we standing in the hood with Dr. Fisher, our secondary church. So whenever we have an opportunity to come fellowship, we know that we always welcome here. And Dr. Fisher's led the way. And I told David a few years back, Dr. Fisher went to the NAACP and he was going to get on the board of directors. I said, David, I don't think they ready for Dr. Fisher. Because I said, you better go get him and rescue him because they're not quite ready to be free. So he stayed there a little while, then he came on and doing great things. We appreciate him. And also Mid-South Kwanzaa International. And as Dave mentioned earlier, we got our start on the Nantan Boo, and when you get that start, you don't stop. And she said you got to wear you got to show some signs and talk the talk and walk the walk. He said, I got to go find my clothes. I can't go to Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church like I did at the end of this morning for the inauguration. And I said, well, okay, I'll tell Dr. Fisher I apologize, but in the meantime, we were at the 11 o'clock swearing-in ceremony down at the Cannon Center, and we got work to do. We got a new administration. We got a lot of new people coming in, and don't give them to the other people. You know, when they give you money, they try to own you. So let's not let them take over our new mayor, our city council, and our county commissioners, and all of that, because we can stop that. There's more of us than there are of them. So let's not let them run over us and take one or two and then, you know, give them a few pennies and there they go. But we got to make sure that Mr. Young and his family are blessed and they have our blessings, and also the city council and the county commission. Let's give them the best, and the best is yet to come. Thank you, Dr. Fisher. We'll be returning to you pretty soon. We have our donation for Mid-South Kwanzaa International and for Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church. We're going to treat equals as equals, and Dave, you get 100 and I'll get 100. Thank you so much, and be blessed and have a great day.
How about giving Ekpe and his group the Talking Drums? Now tell them about it, Ekpe. Talking Drums. Thank y'all so much. Thank all of y'all for helping us get where we are. Thank you.
Okay, if we could at this time, we're going to ask that Dr. Earl Fisher come to the podium, please. Yeah, you. While you back there eating cake. Jacket on. We have special recognition from Mid-South Kwanzaa. We have the Nguza Saba Cultural Impact Trailblazer Award to Reverend Earl J. Fisher, PhD, the Senior Pastor of Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church. We honor you for modeling and providing new directions for our people. We are African people, January 1st, 2024.
I already had my 2 minutes. I'm not going to talk no more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, we are thankful to be here. Like I said, the blackest church in Memphis. Brother Fisher.
Here's what I would do then, with the permission of the elders and Mid-South Kwanzaa and everybody, in a token of gratitude yet again. Here would be the way I would conclude our services if it was a Sunday morning. So would you stand? Can we take a moment and honor all of these wonderful people who have done so much wonderful work? Come on, put your hands together and celebrate them. Can I get a benediction and then we'll. So look, and I want us to celebrate the Tri-State Defender that is in the house. Some wonderful pictures were taken on last week, and they were published in the Tri-State Defender, so I want to thank our brother. And he's going to take some pictures, so y'all please don't run off after this. And can y'all allow us just a moment after I give these final words to try to orchestrate these few pictures before y'all start eating all of the food, and make sure y'all save me some cookies. And don't tell my trainer. And lastly, I need to take a final moment of personal privilege to celebrate somebody who is here for the first time for a Kwanzaa celebration, but has been, oh God, one of my best friends in the world for the last 30 years. He is a native of and resident of my hometown, Benton Harbor, Michigan. And I am proud of him as he has matriculated through not only institutions like Lemoyne College in Western Michigan, but he is currently an administrator at our old high school. So I give it up for my brother Danny Jennings. We call him Tay-Tay where I'm from. That's my dear friend and brother. And he wearing my stuff, so he gotta get my roll back before we leave. Here are the words of benediction I share on Sundays. Hear them as my auntie in ministry, Dr. Gina Stewart, would say, hear me with your good ear. May the spirit of our sovereign Savior saturate the seeds of salvation that have been sown in our life today. I want you to be touched by a sincere. Beloved, I want you to dance with divinity and groove in the gospel with a fierce recklessness to love all things holy, even if you think it's profane. Because God loves us even when we don't like it. The Black Messiah loves us even when we think we don't deserve it. I love you. Look at somebody, say, I love you. Look at somebody else, say, I love you. I love you, ain't much you can do to stop it, so I want you to go. Love mercy, live justly, walk humbly with our God, till we meet again in the name of a loving, living, and liberating Black Messiah, Jesus the Christ. And all of God's people said together, Ashe, 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 and amen. Go in peace.
In the words of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, one God, one aim, one destiny. The red, black, and the green. So we're going to do a little black on black love. Tell to somebody to say black on black love.
Black on black love.
So I decided to flip the script. I got tired of hearing people talk about that negative narrative, black on black crime. So I decided to write the song Black on Black Love. Yes.
Come on, Brother Baruti.
Say it. Queen Karuma said eat. Oh, wait a minute, let's give it up to Frances Barnes, who's been facilitating. She also put the program together.
Yeah,
give it up to Frances Barnes. Queen Karuma. She's one of the most creative people I've ever known, and I've been around a lot of creative people. So that's why I call her Queen Karuma. Yes. All the honorees up, all the honorees. You got to play. All the honorees. Play it live, play it live. Play it
Love mother. You gotta love your father. Love your sister, brother. Yeah. Black on black love. Black on black love. Black on black love.
Black on black love. Black on black love. Black on black love. Black on black love. Black on black.